Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 714 podcast. Today, my friend Isaac is here on the podcast. How you doing, Isaac?
Doing all right, I woke up like an hour ago.
Mm-hmm. First person on the podcast have a gamer headset. I
guess it works better than just like the built-in mic in the laptop, but I got this to play video games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, keeping busy.
Yeah, doing hard work playing on my PS4.
What games have you been playing?
Recently, I picked up Red Dead Redemption 2. Just to play that. I've been trying to play a couple games before PlayStation 5 comes out. That's what I'm going for.
Oh yeah, dude. The PS5, like, people are mixed on the design. Like Sam, he didn't like it.
Yeah, he told
much.
me.
Yeah,
he's like he didn't like it. I liked it, honestly. The only problem I had with the white though was like the white gets dirty easy.
Yeah, and most people they have it in their like closet somewhere, like outside. So no, like in the cabinet. I meant like.
Okay. So, yeah, but I mean, honestly, like I just have it on a desk right now, so like it's tall and all that, but I can just stand it up. So I don't mind standing it up. And like the white gets dirty easy, but it's not like you're always gonna be touching it, But if I've seen like those renders that they made, the fan renders in black and like all those other designs, those look pretty cool. Like it.
Yeah. Are you gonna get the digital edition or the regular one?
No, I'm going for the disc drive one.
Oh yeah.
For sure. I mean, I can see where the digital edition will have a market. Like a lot of people don't buy the physical discs anymore. They just go to the PlayStation Store and get their games from there. But I mean, I have a lot of PS4 games that are discs, and I'm going to be using those for the backwards compatibility,
Oh yeah, it's going to have that too, right? That's gonna
well, it's expected to have that. I'm pretty sure it will.
Yeah. They didn't say the price yet, though.
No, they haven't. I'm waiting for that.
Yeah.
Some people are like, say like, oh, $700. Yeah. I don't know about that. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think, especially with the coronavirus situation and a lot of people being unemployed, like who's gonna dish out $700 for a new console?
Only like those hardcore, collector people.
I know.
I think it's going to be around like $400 probably.
It should be around the same as like the PS4 when it came out.
I think so. Because when the PS4 came out and then the PS4 Pro came out, I think they were the same price,
Yeah. Yeah,
around. I think. So I think it'll be the same for the PS5.
Yeah.
If it's too expensive, I think they'll just lose to Xbox. Will make it cheaper or something like that, and they'll lose to them. Yeah.
Xbox. Are they releasing also like this year too? Xbox?
Oh yeah. The holiday season. I don't think they've said it specifically when, but I know they're gonna have their event soon, like their online event. Because you know how Sony had their event showcasing games and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And, like they built up a bunch of hype. Now it's like Xbox's turn to like kind of like clap back, I want to see what they do. And then after that, I think PlayStation has one more event. And none of them have announced the price or when it's coming out. Not for now, I don't think.
Yeah. But what games are you excited for to like on the PS5? Like, have you checked out any new games?
I'm excited for the Demon Souls. That game is like it's like a remake or remaster or something like that. But I never played the original ones. But I did pick up a game called Bloodborne, and like I love that game. I ended up like trying to get everything. I got the platinum, and then so like before that, I never knew anything about like Dark Souls games or anything like that. So then after playing Bloodborne, that's when I figured out about the Dark Souls games, and then Demon Souls, and like during the like event that they had online, it was showing like some of the games, and that's one game that they showed, and that game got me excited. And I was also excited for the Horizon Forbidden West game. I never played the Zero Dawn, but
is that like the racing game? Or?
No,
Horizon?
that one's Gran Turismo. Horizon Forbidden West is like with that one girl. and like the robots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that game. That's the one. It's an open world. It seems pretty nice. Yeah, and also I'm waiting for Cyberpunk, the 2077 or something like that.
Yeah.
That game looks nice as well. And it's by CD Projekt Red, which made the Witcher games and Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which was also an open world game that I really enjoyed. So hopefully, like, I also enjoy that game that they made.
I want them to release GTA 6. Like if that's in development, like
I don't know about that.
For sure.
They're still milking GTA 5.
I know.
Like when the event opened up and everybody saw that, like they were like, "Is this GTA 6?" And then it's GTA 5, and everybody's like, "It's kind of like a letdown," you know.
But that game it's like a classic for sure, because like no other game is like that much fun in my opinion.
It's like they had it on PS3, PS4, and now PS5. They're gonna get it. Reminds me of like Skyrim, which was also on PS3 and then PS4. Like just a game that they could keep milking.
But dude, that game, like the first time I played it, like I was at my cousin, he got it when he first got the PS4, and dude, that game's so fun. Like you just roaming around with all these like just jacking cars and shit. It's so
the GTA games are fun. I remember when GTA 5 came out. That's when I got GTA 4 because you know like I ain't got the money to pay for all that stuff. So like I always get like when a new generation game comes out, I get the older generation one. I get the older generation one. And so when GTA 5 came out, I got GTA 4. And even GTA 4 was pretty fun, honestly.
Yeah.
And then like you try out GTA 5 and then that game's also fun. I wonder what they're going to do with GTA 6 though.
Yeah. Like the main thing that like is probably the biggest difference between PS4 and PS5 is just basically what the developers can do with the games, right? Like they can make the worlds bigger and
like the
better graphics. Yeah.
Well, at least for PS5, they're always talking about the load time. You know, they're like, "Oh, like we can virtually no loading." You know.
Yeah.
I think Mark Cerny said in his like the Road to PS5 speech, he was like saying that like it loads so fast that like developers might have to actually like make it load or like make it like slow
just
down.
Make a screen. You know?
Yeah, make like a little screen with like the tips. Like people were saying like if it loads so fast, how are we gonna get those little tips? You know, like loading screen tips.
I know. Yeah, and the people who get the digital edition, like they better get like the highest end memory like that you could get in that one.
Yeah, they're saying that you can buy like the SSD or like a external SSD or something to connect it. They said that they're gonna like try out a bunch, like PS5 is gonna try out a bunch and like show which ones are compatible to get. Because I don't think you can just go get a random one.
Yeah,
and, like just plug it in.
Yeah. Did you also hear about the Skate 4? That game? Like have you heard about like the Skate series?
Like the Tony Hawk skater ones or
no, it's a little it's like that, but it doesn't have Tony Hawk's branding on it. Like I have Skate 2 on my PS3. And like it's such a fun game. You just like roam around.
The only skateboard game I remember having was on GameCube. I think it was GameCube, and it was like Tony Hawk Pro Skate or something.
Yeah, I think he's also releasing a new one too after a while.
Yeah, I heard that he was gonna release a new one or something like that. But yeah, that's the only skate game I remember having.
Yeah,
like that game was pretty fun. But like after that, I didn't really play any skateboard games. I tried skateboarding for a while, like in real life. Because I remember during the summer of my transition from freshman to sophomore year of high school, like before I went to Villa Park, right, and met you guys, like during that summer, I had nothing to do. And like I went to, it's called like the mall near here, and I went to that one shop, sell a bunch of like skateboard stuff and all that. I forgot what it was.
Like, and at the block, you mean?
No, it wasn't at the block, but
because I know they have like a skate park, like the Van skate park. Is that?
Yeah, they have it, but that's not where I went. But they always sell like a bunch. It's like a clothes shop, but they also sell like skateboard stuff and all that stuff.
Zoomies.
No, I don't know
Like
what it
that's like
was. Some socks, I think too. But I just remember going to the shop or something like that, and then like one of my friends told me to get a trash deck, which is basically like a skateboard that someone else threw away. And so I picked up one of
really.
those, and then I just bought the like wheels, and like that's pretty much I built the skateboard and
Wait,
all that
so
stuff.
you could get that for free, like a trash deck? They
Yeah,
just give you it?
yeah, it's basically like someone goes in there and throws away their skateboard, like basically
Uh-huh.
just like gives it to them, and then like you go over there, you ask them for one, and they give you like a used up, all beat up skateboard.
Yeah.
And so that's what I got. And then when I got that, I remember trying to learn how to kickflip.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, I learned all the other like basic moves like ollies, shove its, and then pop shove its.
Yeah.
And then for like that whole summer, I was like, can I learn how to kickflip?
Yeah.
And so I started doing kickflips, like trying to kickflip. I could never land it. And then this one time I tried it, and like the board went vertical on me, and I landed, and it went right in between my legs. I never skateboarded after that. I got all bruised up down there.
Dude, that shit, it is dangerous, like especially if you're going like, I don't know, have you seen those videos of those people going like down hills like with skateboards?
Yeah,
And
with
their
like
like
the
legs are
longboards,
shaking. Yeah.
and the skateboard starts like shaking, kind of looks like the
Yeah.
motorcycle when they're going like that.
Yeah. I was like, how are you like
They're going
how are
so
you
fast,
doing
like,
that?
and like they're in a t-shirt and like shorts, and they fall
Yeah.
down, they like skid all across the road. Yeah, it's dangerous.
Yeah,
I've also
that's
seen like videos of like people breaking all their like bones and stuff, just like skateboarding, and then like jump downstairs or grind.
I
I
know.
wouldn't do that. Like, I know people love to do that, some people, but like, not me.
Mhm. Yeah. I think I got into like skateboarding like not that much, but when I was a kid, like probably 12 years old, like I got a skateboard and I learned like the basic shit, but I never could do like any grinds. Like
Or
on
things
you
like
know how
that.
on the curb, like there's like a like you could just jump on the curb
Oh yeah.
and then grind. I could never do that. Like
I remember trying something similar. You know when you park and they have those like little concrete strips like to stop you from going over that parking spot?
yeah.
Yeah, I remember like my friends had like this wax, like they would wax that like to grind on it.
Yeah.
So then I remember waxing it like but way too much. And so I jumped onto it with my trucks, like the trucks on a skateboard,
Hmm.
and that's where I landed, and then like I just slipped and like the skateboard went flying and hit like what's it called, part of a wall, and like it
Damn.
just cracked the wall.
It didn't break the skateboard.
No, the skateboard didn't
The
break.
skateboard is fine.
The wall like had like a little crack in it. I was like, oh,
Damn. But skateboarding is it's fun like when you know how to do it
yeah.
and it's a good experience to learn.
I feel like it's like the same with like everything else though. Like with everything else, when you first start picking up, it's challenging and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
once you learn like the ropes and all that stuff, like that's where you can really grow and like have a lot of fun with it. Like
Hmm.
I think that's the same with like anything, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, any type of hobby you pick up, you could just like at
Mhm.
first it's challenging, and then you know the reward of like the rewarding feeling comes, of,
Yeah.
like having fun and all that.
That happened to me when I first started learning how to snowboard. Like
You
I was
snowboard?
yeah. But not I haven't snowboarded in like 2 years now.
Oh,
But
that's a
I
long
could
time.
still do it. I could still
I've only seen snow like twice in my life.
Yeah, it doesn't snow much over here. You got to go in the mountains
Yeah.
to see it snow.
Remember, I went like long ago. I think I was still in like elementary school. And like I just remember making like snowballs and like throwing it at my brothers. And then that's like the last time I ever played in snow.
Hmm.
The last time I've actually ever like seen snow with my eyes, like in real life, was last Christmas. Because I remember they closed down the freeway.
Oh yeah.
I forgot
Where were you
it
going?
was.
Where
I went to
SF, right?
yeah, I went to San
Yeah.
Francisco to visit my cousin, and then like on the way back, I think I was passing by. I forgot where I was passing by. Somewhere in the middle down there. They closed.
Yeah, I know.
all the roads there, the freeway. And so like we had to stay in the car for like a whole day before they opened it again. And like while we are passing through there, like you could see like the mountains covered in snow.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. But like,
I know. I was in SF around the same time as you. Like I'm pretty sure like we were there at the same time.
Did you get caught up in the like when they closed the roads and all
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
You got caught
like,
too?
Yeah, dude. My cousin was driving. Like it was all my cousins and my brother. We were driving to SF, and then we're going down the 5, and since it goes like uphill, basically there's like hills and stuff, and it started snowing there in December, and so they had to close the whole 5 down, and we U-turned and went down PCH. Actually, like we had to go all the way to the coast and take that highway since there was snow just blocking everything.
Oh, so you like went all the way around basically.
Yeah, like instead of waiting, like I don't know what people did when the 5 was closed, but this was when we were trying to go there. I think were you coming back and you saw the snow? Right?
So I was coming back home from San Francisco, and like the freeways were closed for quite a while. But when they finally opened it up, they were letting some people in, and we got in. But yeah, like you still see the snow on the side. It was like a valley type thing.
Yeah. We saw the same thing when we were coming back. I think it didn't snow then, but the snow was still there. Like it was just they cleared up the roads and everything. Yeah. It was actually sunny.
That's how it was for me. Like it wasn't snowing, but like the leftover snow was there.
Yeah.
And like after they cleared up the roads, and like in some spots you can still see the ice on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That now like the traveling days. Like, it seems.
Now nobody's traveling.
I know, dude. I miss traveling. I'm actually going on a trip to Colorado and Dallas in a few weeks, which is gonna be fun. So we'll see. Like I'm going on plane too. So
they've opened planes already?
Yeah, dude. Planes are open, but
I haven't been keeping up to like what transportation's open already. I just know, like, it was funny because a couple days ago, my cousin was staying here, and like he was on EXO, and I was like, "What are you doing?" Like, I thought you already like graduated school. He was like, "Yeah, I did." So I was like, "What are you doing?" He was like, "Oh, I'm just researching COVID deaths compared to like cases." And like I was like, "Oh, nice." And then, so I see his Excel, and he's like getting all the information from the CDC website of like cases versus how many people have died. And he's making an Excel chart, and then like a couple hours later, he's like, "I'm finally done." And I go look at it, and I was like, "Wait, so what's this for?" And then he's like, "Oh, it's because my mom's like paranoid, and his mom is like scared of the COVID and all that stuff." And he was like, "But I'm just showing her like she shouldn't be that scared, you know." And so then he shows me the chart that he made using like the like all the information from the CDC, and like it shows you all the cases, and then like deaths are like down here compared to cases. Like the deaths are so low. And then he was saying also like how a lot of people don't even know they have it. So if anything, like the cases could be even larger. That means like the death rate is even smaller. So at that point, he was just like, "I'm gonna go show this to my mom," and I was like, "All right."
Yeah, a lot of people were really scared in the beginning, but now, like after it's been what 3 months, 4 months now, and and so now people like they're just done with COVID, and now if like I know you probably haven't kept up with the news, but the cases have climbed back in certain states.
Oh yeah, like, I've seen that. Like everybody's like, "Oh, I remember. I think a couple days ago it was like, oh, record-breaking 7,000 cases in a day."
Yeah,
and I was like, I don't care about the cases. Show me the deaths. You know, like have the deaths dramatically increased too, or are they still like rock bottom like everything?
Yeah. They just don't. The only thing they're worried about with the cases though is like the hospitalizations that are going to occur, and the hospitals will be overbooked by people going in. Basically, like they don't have any beds available for like all the other stuff. Like if a person breaks their arm, they had to go in, and if all the beds are full, then they can't treat everybody.
I guess, but I mean, like, I feel like a lot too is like bad, like record keeping, I guess, or something like that. I remember reading about some dude.
The U.S. has done a terrible job. Like out of every country, it's the worst job.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that. I know. I think they've done the most testing, and like I remember people saying like, "Oh, the U.S. has like the most cases, right?" And then I heard this explanation that pretty much made sense. Like, if you could do 100 tests in a month, like these are just like hypothetical numbers, but like if you could do 100 tests in 1 month, at the end of that month, what's the maximum amount of cases you can have? You can only have 100 cases. Like, you can only do 100 tests, so you can only have 100 confirmed cases at the end of the month. So now let's say you're doing like 100,000 cases a month.
Yeah.
Like tests. I mean, what's like the maximum amount of confirmed cases you can have then?
100,000.
The 100,000 is the maximum you can have. And so, like, if you're doing more testing, I think Trump said this as well. If you're doing more testing, you're gonna have more numbers.
Yeah.
You know? And then I think Trump got a lot of backlash because he said like, oh, like he told his team like slow the testing down or something like that. I think I took that as like more like him being sarcastic or something. But a lot of people were like, oh, why are you slowing testing down and all that stuff? And then like they were asking Dr. Fauci. He was like, from what I know, we're speeding testing up, if anything. So even Fauci was defending Trump, which I think was kind of funny. But I don't know. That's what I think is just like if you're doing more testing, you're gonna get more cases. You know, it's like, that's just the way it is.
And most like the states like Arizona, they reported like 2,000 cases a day, but at the same time they have increased testing than what they had like a few months ago. So and that plays into it.
There's like I've heard of a couple like outliers, I would call them, because like I don't know if that's the same for like everybody, but there was this one person who said that they were gonna get their test done at like a CVS, and like they ended up not going, and the CVS called them and said like, oh, you're confirmed like COVID, and he was like, how can I be confirmed if I haven't even gone?
I know.
So like I've heard of that. I don't think that's like, you know, like happening to a majority of people. I think maybe like a small minority.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about that, but that leads to me to believe that there's like, you know, some issues with record keeping or something like that. Like everything's so chaotic, I guess.
I know this has been like the most chaotic year I've ever lived in. Like,
yeah, for me too.
Just everything that's and you know, it's
this whole year has been like a meme year.
Yeah,
I think. Like every month is a new like meme of something that's happening.
It's crazy. But at the same time, like you feel for the government, like they're trying to do their best, like trying to help people by, you know, giving the stimulus check and doing everything they can. But, you know, it's like nobody knows exactly like how to
handle this.
How to handle it. Like people say wear a mask all the time, but like there's no research that has like the efficacy isn't there.
Yeah, I remember at first they were saying like, oh, stay 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
And then like some people were saying like, oh, the virus could. I remember like seeing something saying like, oh, the virus could probably travel more than 6 feet. And so like nobody really knows like the standards. All we can tell is like what the CDC or like other places give us, like their info on how many have been infected, how many have died. That's what my cousin was doing, and just to show his mom like the chance of dying from this is very, very small. And it's like he was also saying how like the majority in New York was because the New York governor put all the COVID patients into nursing homes with like all the old people. So like a lot of the deaths are from there in New York, like New York City, and so it's like. I was hearing him talk about that. I was like, wait, how are you going to put everybody or like a lot of people that are sick into a place where there's a bunch of old people that are more susceptible to be?
I know. They knew that from the beginning that like older people and people with, you know, bad immunity will get
already underlying factors.
They'll get the virus easier. Like that's a given. Like anybody, you don't. That's with anybody any with disease.
Like, anybody with a compromised immune system, like susceptible to getting sick from something else.
And then this guy puts it right in there.
I don't know the reasoning behind it. Maybe he had a reason. I don't know, but
maybe you wanted to kill the old people off. I guess
trying to decrease the old population. I don't know. I don't know. I think that was just kind of like the way they handled that situation over there. I don't know. I think it could have been done a little better, you know. But at the same time, like this is something new. It's like nobody was that prepared, I guess. Like
yeah, nobody could have called this like a year ago. If you told me this is gonna happen, I'd say you're stupid. Like this can't happen.
Nobody would have closed down the whole world. Just
yeah, no way. But at least now things are reopening again. A lot more. Like the haircut, places. Got a haircut yesterday actually, and
what I'm bummed out about is the DMV, man. Like I remember I was gonna go in for my driver's test 2 days before everything closed down. Like I had my appointment 3 months before that.
2 days.
Because I got my permit. I got my permit like in November last year. I think it was November last year. And I remember like going online to make an appointment, and like everything was booked up until March. So I was like, dang, like I got it the closest I could do it to where I wasn't in school. So it was like it was gonna be a day where I wasn't in school, so like the week after school had finished for the last quarter, and then like 3 days before, because it was a Friday, and my test was gonna be on a Monday, and that Friday they sent a message. Like I got an email saying like, oh, the DMV's like closed, they canceled all the appointments, and they're gonna reschedule and like contact customers to like reschedule them. It's been like a couple months since then. I still haven't gotten contacted by the DMV. Like, where's my reschedule at? And like, I went online to check their site, and they're saying that no new appointments can be made. Yeah. Like, I got excited because I heard that they had reopened. And I was like, I can finally go get my license. And then no, it's just like reopen to do like renew paperwork and like IDs and all that, but they're not doing behind the wheel tests, like any new appointments.
Dude, this one of the craziest things I've seen. Like, I was driving. You know how you got to do the student instruction, like a student driver, and they had to teach you for like 6 hours or whatever.
I never did that.
Yeah, but since you're 18, you don't know how to do that.
But if you're younger, I think if you're trying to get the license at a younger age,
Like I think just a few days ago, I saw this person that had that car, and they had like a plastic divider, like between the two seats. Like there's the teacher like sitting on the passenger side and the student here, and they had like a plastic divider. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Who's to say that even works? Like
I know. They just got like a plastic divider and no mask. Like they didn't wear a mask. Like that could have been better than a plastic divider here. You know?
No. And I mean, like when you first like get there, aren't you supposed to like greet them like you get out of the car and shit?
Yeah. So like that person's driving there. Like the instructor is driving and holding onto the steering wheel. I don't know if they probably clean it, but
I know just weird. They opened like the pool, like the public pool that I'm near, and like I was reading the sign, saying like, oh, anybody like on the deck and all that stuff has to wear a mask, but like not when you're in the pool, right? And I was like, so like, what if there's people in the pool like next to each other? Like, is the virus gonna be like, oh shoot, you're in a pool, like we ain't gonna go to you?
I know.
As soon as you get out, it's fair game though.
Yeah, like that it doesn't make sense like for anything. Like even the gyms, like that now, like the gyms are open. I've been going to the gym this past week, and actually since last week too, and they're recommending you to wear masks, but I don't like that's dumb for me. Like to when you're working out,
having a mask,
you gotta breathe, right? Like that shit, that it gets too like sweaty and shit. So I don't have it on, and most other people don't have it on either. But they like at the 24-hour fitness is where I go to, and every 1 hour they clean the whole gym. Yeah,
like they close
it. Yeah, they close it down for I think 30 minutes, and they clean everything. Yeah, the employees just clean it all. And you gotta like schedule like on the app. You gotta schedule the time you want to go to, and you have 1 hour and to work out basically. Like
I wonder if like doing that like if everything's back to normal, if some companies would decide to like, hey, like let's just keep doing this.
Yeah, some might, dude.
like, oh, this works better. Let's just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like scheduling things. I don't know. I feel like
this just goes to show that like before nobody was cleaning shit. Like they didn't clean anything. Like
I remember
they just like barely did anything to clean.
Yeah, I remember going to the gym with Sam like a while back, and like what's it called? You clean like yourself. You clean your own equipment and all that stuff. Clean it. But I remember getting to some equipment and like seeing like sweat stains and all that stuff, and like we'd get the paper towels and spray and just spray it down. You know? Like who doesn't clean like all their sweat like afterwards? You know?
I know. You see a puddle of sweat, like you should clean that off for the next person to use. And yeah, now more than ever, like people are cleaning like the equipment, like after they use, before they use it and after they use it, they're cleaning everything. Like I used to just clean it like after, but now I do it before and after. With the like they have a special spray now, like CDC approved spray. Like I don't even know what that means. It could be like bullshit, just because. But
like CDC's like we need some extra money, man. Like let's start selling these CDC approved things.
It's just like Windex or some shit.
OP water.
Yeah. You don't know, man. Like
the spike too. I was on Snapchat looking at like how Snapchat has like the recommended news and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I was looking at like I was bored just scrolling it, and I remember clicking on when it was like saying that like the protests aren't increasing or aren't responsible for the spikes, and I was like, wait a minute, all right. So you're telling me like a bunch of people grouped up together in a protest and like
less than 6 feet apart, no masks, most of them.
Yeah, like I don't think they're protesting with a mask on, you know.
Yeah,
maybe some of them, but a lot of them
some aren't. Of them.
And like there's been a bunch of protests recently, right? And so, like, you're telling me that has nothing to do with like a little bit of the spike at least? Like, come on, you gotta be.
It's been a few weeks too. Like they say 14 days. You know, like that could be also bullshit. I don't know, but yeah, that was you don't know what they're telling you is true. You just gotta take it as it is, and take care of yourself really, because that's the best we could do right now.
Especially now in like the chaos, like. I know, like, when there's flus, or my cousin was telling me when, like, flus, they recorded by season, right?
Yeah.
And with COVID, they've been recording it instead of seasons, like, the whole thing, like, all bunched up together. And so that makes the numbers look even larger. But also with, like, the flu, like, when it happens, like, they record everything, right? But then they go back and, like, double check it and, like, actually count which ones were actually, like, by the flu and all that stuff. I don't know if they've been doing that with COVID, or once COVID ends, they're going to probably, like, go back and, like, double check everything, make sure they got all the numbers right.
Yeah.
So you don't know.
But I don't think there's gonna be an end. Like I think it's gonna last and probably linger on for a good while. Like it will get used to it. Like more people will become immune. Like as it goes on. But people are gonna move forward. Like the NBA, they just announced that they're gonna start up again in July, but with no fans, and they're doing it like they're gonna have the games and the playoffs and everything resumed back to normal, basically.
But with no fans, like
no fans, because you can't fit like 20,000 people and expect there to be like no cases after that, and you can't test everybody like right away. So
then again, you like that's with like any virus, like. Same with the flu, but nobody ever closed anything down.
Yeah, if one person has the flu, you just stay home. You come back the next day.
Yeah, like I feel like that should be like, I guess treated something like a flu, or like if you know you're sick, like just stay home, man. Like
yeah,
like everything closed.
But like you said, like the asymptomatic though, like people who show no symptoms.
Yeah,
like that's unlike like the flu. The flu, you know when you have it, like you have a fever, there's certain symptoms we know about. With the coronavirus, you could have no symptoms. Like 16 of the NBA players, they just tested, like 300 of them, and 16 of them got the coronavirus, and they show no symptoms. They just have it. So
I also heard, like talking about testing, I heard that like a lot of the tests. Like they can give you a false positive or something like that, because like some people test themselves with the kit, the kit that they're giving, It's like a positive, and they like test themselves again, and it's like negative after that. And so it's like, well, what am I?
Yeah.
So like the kits, I don't know, maybe they're like not as well done, or like they're not that good. Yes.
Yeah.
So like I guess once you get that false positive, I guess just to be safe, go and actually get the swab test or something like that.
Yeah. My parents, they got the swab test like a month ago now, but they both came out negative. It's just a weird like experience to have. They just said like they stick that shit in your nose and yeah. But man, I'm glad though that things are getting back to normal. Like businesses are opening up and shit's going back because people, they get bored like just staying inside. How much more are you gonna? How much money are you
I
gonna
saw a bunch of like studies talking about like how playing video games during the pandemic could be healthy or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, playing video games with friends like Sam, he plays video games every day. Like he's saying that he spends like 3 hours at least just playing with his friends and just chilling because
like what else are you supposed to do?
Yeah, there's nothing else.
If you're a non-essential worker, like what else can you do? Just stay home. That's why I've been scrolling through Amazon lately, a bunch, just getting a bunch of like random stuff.
It's what like, have you gotten?
I can use this. Well, I got these headphones first. I also got my mom a like little painting. Like it's like a bunch of numbers, and it comes with paint labeled by the numbers. And so like there's like a box labeled 1, and so you get the paint from 1 and color it in.
Oh, like a paint kit or some shit.
Yeah, like I got my mom that, and like right now she's painting it. She was saying how like the numbers are so small. Like she looks for all the ones. Once she's done painting all the ones, she goes to paint the 2s. And while she's painting 2s, she finds a bunch of other ones that she didn't see before. And before that, we were doing a puzzle as well, and like we spent like 2 days doing this 1,500 piece puzzle.
Damn, that's how big is that? Like a table?
She was doing it on the table, and like it took up the whole table. Damn. And we were doing that puzzle. And I remember staying up like pretty late at night, like in the morning as well. It's like I had nothing else to do. Like she'd go to sleep, and I'd keep doing the puzzle, doing like one corner. And then the next morning after that, like we decided to like just go do a stretch to try to finish it. And yeah, sure enough, we end up finishing it, and we get to like the last couple pieces, and we see that there's one piece missing.
One piece.
So we did 1,499 pieces. Where's the last one? So we finished the whole puzzle, and then there's one piece missing, and like kind of like in the top corner, one piece missing, and it's like where'd that piece go? And
was it? So it was like in the middle, sort of, not like a corner piece.
It was like the top, like in the top area, like the top right corner, but it wasn't exactly in the corner. It was like towards the center area,
okay,
like in that top right area. And so yeah, it's like kind of obvious that it's there, that it's missing.
Yeah,
I don't know. I kind of felt like, oh man, you just spent so much time for this, and there's a piece missing. Does it feel complete? And in my head, I was like, one of my little brothers probably came and like took that piece. That way, once we were all finished, like they could come and say, "Oh, I put the last piece in there." But like a whole day later, and the piece never showed up, and so we have no idea what happened to that piece. Maybe my dog
couldn't find it.
I couldn't find it. I'm thinking maybe my dog ate it or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
that piece is gone.
Yeah, because if it's a 1,500 piece puzzle, like that's hard to keep track of everything. Like not losing any pieces.
I don't know where it went.
Yeah, but puzzles are fun. I haven't done a puzzle in like 10 years. Like it's been so long.
So you just have that like nostalgic feeling, like, oh, I remember puzzles.
Yeah.
At some point, you just get so tired though, especially when like the puzzle we were doing had like a carpet, and the carpet was all the same like color and like texture looking, and so like to build it was so hard because like one piece looks like the other piece, but it doesn't go there,
Yeah.
And so that was tiring trying to do that. And like there was 2 dogs in the puzzle, one on the left side, one on the right side, and like both dogs had the same hair color, and so like you're building one dog, and like you get all the pieces that have that fur texture, and like it doesn't go there. It goes in the other dog, and you don't know which is which. So that was really time consuming. What else did I buy? Let me pull it up.
Go to your Amazon orders.
Yeah. My Amazon Prime, because I got it from my school, like for free. The subscription.
For free?
Yeah, but I think it ends in October.
Oh yeah. You get the 6 months free. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that when I started like August, I think, of last year, and it ended in February. But like with the student Prime, it's half off. So it's like instead of like $120 a year, it's like $60 a year.
Well, that's nice. Yeah. Once I got like the Amazon Prime, and the orders come in like real quick, you know.
I know.
It's like, oh, this is actually, I like this.
Yeah, 2-day shipping. Like before this shit happened, like coronavirus, they were shipping out orders in 1 day. Like it was insane.
Well, yeah. Sometimes I would like order something, and it's like, oh, your order will arrive in like this day. It gives you like the day that it's estimated to arrive. And so then I'm waiting for that day, and the day before it comes, and I'm like, "Oh, this is nice."
I know. It's crazy how fast they ship that shit. Like they have warehouses everywhere.
So I ordered recently a mouse because I remember playing with my cousins a lot of League of Legends, and I had this small ass mouse, like it was the size of my fingers, and I'd be clicking on it, and my hand would start hurting after a while. I don't know where that mouse came from. I think it's
probably like a laptop or like tablet mouse, maybe. I don't know.
I think it was like $1 or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that mouse was so bad, and so like I remember looking for a mouse, and I ended up getting this mouse. It's not that great, you know, but I mean, it does the job. Like it's not like one of those super gamer mouses, you know, they're like $100. But I mean, I like it. It's pretty good. And then I got a mouse pad. Then I got the headphones. And I got a power strip, like it's down there, because you know those like extension cords. I remember having one, but mine was like kind of broken. Like you plug something in, and like if it shifts a little bit, everything just turns off. And so like getting it like perfectly into it, you know.
And it has to stay there, like it can't move at all. Like
and like it's at the bottom. It's at the bottom of my desk, right? And so it's like sometimes if I like stretch my legs and I hit it, everything just turns off. So I'd be like, I'd be playing a game, right? And like I decide to stretch my leg out, and it hits the power strip, and then boom, everything just turns off, and I'm like, oh no! And then I had to replay because it didn't save, you know.
Yeah.
And so that got annoying. So I bought a power strip, and it came with like 12 outlets in that power strip. And I was like, oh, that's pretty good. And it has like 4. It's like 12 outlets, and then 4 of those like USB ports to like charge your phone and all that stuff. That was pretty good. And then I bought a book, and then
I bought like 2 books just to read, like
just to pass some time, because you know, like staring at a screen all the time, I just get so tired.
I know.
Sometimes it's good to just read a bit.
Yeah, you gotta do different shit. Like you can't be just doing the same shit every day. It gets too boring.
Now that I finished school, like when I was in school in my English class, I was reading a book called Family Life. It was about like this family that came from India to the United States, and like one of the brothers dove into a pool. I laughed, but it's not funny. He dove into a pool and like hit his head, and he got brain damage or something like that. And like
you got like paralyzed or some shit.
Yeah, basically he couldn't move, and like he can only move his eyes at first, but later on, like it started getting worse, right? And so then it talks about how the family, like how they started to cope with that. Like the dad became an alcoholic. The mom dove into like this her religion and all that stuff, and like trying to find these gurus to come and like heal her son. And then the other brother like took on in the footsteps of his older brother that happened to. And so reading that book, I was like, damn, like this happens to some families, and like I felt bad at sometimes, and I was like, like how would my life be different if that was like me, you know?
Yeah.
And so like it's something to think about, I guess, but you know, thank God that hasn't happened to me, you know. But yeah, I read that book for my English class, and then after that, like school ended, right?
What book did you get like to read like over the summer?
Oh, I got this book called Tactics. It's not really like a novel or anything like that. It's more of like a apologetic book, you know. That I was just gonna read a bit, figure out. It's like a argument book, you know?
Like a like a oh wait, shit. Like a textbook sort of.
No, it's not a textbook. It's like a I'll pull it up right now. It's this book right here.
Oh, okay.
It's like a Christian book, you know, like talking about like ways to argue for your faith or something like that. So I just picked that book up, like just to do something.
Yeah.
Read something while like doing something else. Once I finish that book, I'll probably get another one.
Mm-hmm. I've been reading this, like Astrophysics for People in a Hurry.
I saw that one in Target. I was gonna get it.
So good.
And then I remember going one day and it was like not there. It was sold out, I guess, or something like that.
Yeah. Like get it on Amazon, bro. Like this shit came in 2 days. Like,
I really like Neil deGrasse Tyson's voice when he's talking.
I know. Yeah.
I think he has that podcast, Star Talk or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
for anybody who wants to get this book, go and get it. It's really good. It's pretty short too, so you get finish. But yeah, his podcast is really good. I listen to that sometimes, and he's also on Joe Rogan a lot too. So I listen to those rants.
I like listening to Joe Rogan.
Yeah, he talks a lot about like just different perspectives that you normally wouldn't think about. Like he brings you into this space where like the stuff you don't really learn in school, like he makes science fun. Like it's really interesting to learn more about him. So
yeah, he's a great speaker as well.
Yeah.
I remember on YouTube, like you can find like just quick clips about him, like talking. The most recent one I remember listening to was him talking about water towers, like why water towers have those rings on them around them.
Mm-hmm.
And like as you go lower on the water tower, it has like more rings. And that's because like the top of the water tower only has to support a little bit of water, but at the bottom you have to support all the water on top of it. That was pretty cool. Like something that you wouldn't really think about. Like you just see the water tower and you're like, oh yeah, there's some rings around it, but you don't really think about why the rings are there, and things like that. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, he has a lot of those.
The last thing I bought was a car like sunshade thing, because I had my car before I got my license. Mm-hmm. And like recently I was gonna be like, oh, I'm finally gonna be able to drive my car. And then the DMV closed down and everything. And so like I can only drive it with my driver's permit if someone else is in the car. Yeah. And so like to park it, to find somewhere to park it, I've been parking it like near the street, but every 2 weeks the street cleaner person comes by and I have to move it, right? And it's like really competitive. It's like you move it and then as soon as it's gone, someone else comes and takes it, right? So you gotta be really attentive and like as soon as you move it, it passes by, you gotta like quickly put it back in there or else someone else is gonna take your spot. And so, but it's like in the sun all day, right? And like I went in there to move it one time and it was so hot. I was like sweating as soon I opened the door. And it was like a big puff of like air that just hit me. And I was like, Jesus Christ. So I bought that thing, hopefully to like ease it a bit. And like leave the windows down like a little bit, like an inch. You crack them a little bit. Yeah. The only problem with that, I'm afraid someone's gonna come and like try stealing it or something like that. You know? I don't know. Like, probably not. Like, I don't know, man. I'm afraid to leave it alone because I'm like, someone's gonna scratch it. What's gonna happen? But yeah. So that's what I've been doing on Amazon lately. Mm-hmm. I've also been looking for a wallet because like my wallet's getting a little beat up now, and I haven't been going out as much, you know. Yeah. So I've been looking for a wallet, and like I was looking online. It's been like 2 days that I've been looking for a wallet, okay? Because like I was just gonna get a normal wallet, and then I ended up seeing this leather wallet, and I was like, "Oh, a leather wallet would be nice." You know, leather sounds, you know, might last long. Yeah, yeah, it lasts long, right? And like I went on Reddit because you know Reddit's filled with people like that, like. I feel like have questions and then get the questions answered. Yeah. Yeah. And all these people on Reddit, like, I bought this wallet right here. It's been like 4 years and there's barely a scratch on it. And I'm like, oh, damn, that sounds like something I need. And so I started looking at a lot of their things and like they're leather. A lot of them are leather, right? Mm-hmm. And I started looking at different leathers and like you find these wallets and they like advertise them good. They're like genuine leather, right? Yeah. And you read genuine leather and you're like, damn, that's genuine. You know, that's like. That's good leather right there. That's like high class. Like Yeah, you think that's high class. And then I started researching different types of leather. To my surprise, genuine leather is like the lowest of the low.
The lowest one.
It's like, it's not even like that good of a leather,
It's
right?
like fake leather. It's like,
no, it's like, it is real leather, but the problem is like they get it from like the bottom part of the hide,
oh,
which
okay.
isn't that tough, right?
It's like more rough and shit.
So basically, like that's just the name, genuine leather.
Mhm.
I mean, it's actual leather, but it's not gonna last you that long. And so I was like surprised to hear that. I was like, that's kind of misleading. Why would you name it genuine leather? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like genuine leather is the name just sounds like it's good, right?
Yeah.
So then I start reading like, so what is the leather that you want to get? And then there's leather that's called top grain leather, and then
Mhm.
there's full grain leather, right? And so those are the ones you wanna get.
What's the difference?
Okay, so top grain leather is like the top part of the leather as well, but they sand it a bit. They sand it to get rid of those like texture, that line, to make it more of like a smooth texture. And
Mhm.
the full grain is basically the same, but they don't sand the top, right? They keep it with that with those lines, right?
Yeah.
And after a while, when leather starts, like when you hold leather, it absorbs a lot of the oils as well, and like the scratches. A lot of people like it because after a while of getting scratched up, it develops this thing. I think it's called like a patine or something like that. A patina is what they call it.
Mhm.
So a leather patina is like this texture that leather gets after like a long time using it, right? So when you first get it, it
Brand
looks
new.
yeah, but after a while, it looks better as it gets older. Like, like you can look it up online and like, yeah, like the leather just, it's more pleasing to look at when it has a patina. And so that's what I was looking at, trying to find a leather wallet.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you see, like how at first it looks like one color, but then like they usually like day one, and then day like 1,000 or something like that, it develops that like nice look and all
Yeah.
that.
It looks like a full rich like leather.
Yeah, and so what's it called? Like once you get a wallet or something like that, like after using it for a while, it starts to look,
Mhm.
it looks better as you go along, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh damn, like this whole time I've been buying these like wallets for like $5 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Breaks
then
within a year. Yeah.
you see this wallet, and I'm like, damn, how long does that last? And I was looking at these wallets, 100-year warranty. I was like,
100 years.
yeah, I was like, damn,
Jeez.
these people confident. And so like I was really like about to get one, right? And
Mhm.
then, but you know, I'm a little weird. I don't use like right now my wallet's this bifold, like a normal bifold wallet,
Yeah.
but I don't I don't use wallets in the back pocket.
Yeah, I don't either.
I put
I
them in
don't.
my front pocket, right?
Yeah, I have like this wallet, also a bifold. Like it's pretty simple. Like it's
Yeah.
a Herschel. Like they make backpacks too.
Uh,
Uh,
but you use it in the front pocket, right?
yeah.
Yeah, same. I like to put my wallets in the front pocket. Like I've always done that. And so then like I saw this leather wallet, and the thickness was, damn, it was a thick boy. It was like, it was a bifold, but like my older trifold wallet before I switched to the bifold was like this really beat up hand me down.
Damn,
Like
bro. That shit's thick as fuck.
the bifold ends up being like that thick, and it's like straight up
Yeah.
just leather. And so I was like, yeah, that's gonna last me for life. But like I'm gonna have a huge ass bulge when I sit down, and like it's
Yeah.
just gonna bother me the whole time, right? So then I was like, I really want this leather wallet, but at the same time, like I don't use it that big, you know?
Mhm.
So I started looking for other wallets. And then I got into this like area of like everyday carry people who like every day they carry like a knife, a lighter, and like
Yeah.
they have like this whole set of like gear that they carry. And I was like, some of those things are pretty cool. I don't think I need to be walking around with like a lighter all day long, right?
I know.
But they have these like metal looking wallets that are like really slim, and it's just like for carts.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Like
I get
I heard
that.
the advertisement for like Ridge wallets. Like
Yeah,
they're
that was
big.
one I
Yeah.
found. Um, but there's also leather wallets like that, like these nice leather
Like
wallets,
thin.
but
Yeah.
they're thin and they're like card holders. A lot of those like everyday carry wallets are like glorified card holders.
Yeah.
But so yeah, like I just been looking for a nice wallet, and I'm really picky. Like that's the problem. Like something I'd consider a problem with me is like I'm really picky, and so like I see this wallet and like I'm about to buy it, and then I'm like, no, like I don't really like that detail, and then I go look for the next one, and it's just like so hard to find something when you're so picky.
Well, you want to make a good investment, right? You want that thing to last a while.
But I mean, it's easier when you can actually like feel it. Like the reason I chose this wallet beforehand was because like I really needed one to get away from this hand-me-down that was like already like tearing up and all that stuff. I was at the store and like I could actually feel it, and I put it in my pocket and I was like, oh, that fits, whatever, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
With these, like I saw it and I'm like, it has to be leather, it has to be full grain or top grain leather, and like leather isn't like the only tough material, right? Like there's these other wallets that they use like sailboats or like have like the sail, right? I think some of them use that material, that like strong ass material,
like fabric.
That material. Fabric, right? But like, sure, that's gonna last a long time. But I like the aesthetic of the leather, right? Like that's just me. So I was like, it has to be leather. It has to be like that top grain or full grain leather.
Are those expensive? Like if you get like a top grain?
I've been looking at it. A lot of them are expensive. Like I came down yesterday with two choices. Like I've been staying up to like 3 a.m. just doing things like
just
that.
Looking at the wallets.
I'm not even kidding you, right? So I spent one whole night looking at it, and I fell asleep at 4 a.m. because like I wasn't sleepy, so I was like, might as well look for a wallet. And then after that, the next day when I woke up is when you texted me. You were calling me, right?
Yeah.
And I was still asleep, and my phone hasn't been working for like a whole quarter now, right? The speakers at the bottom don't work. It's only the front speaker, and the front speaker doesn't show any like notification sounds or anything like that. It's just like a media sounds, so like YouTube or anything like that. But the bottom speakers are the ones like when you get called, that's the one that rings, and alarms as well. So like I haven't been able to put an alarm on my phone or anything like that. And so the only way I can hear something on my phone that's like a call or something is if I wear headphones, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes I would do that. I would sleep with my headphones in. Or
sleep with your headphones.
Yeah, and like I'd wake up at 9 and like it's like choking me. I'm like, holy crap!
I know.
But I had to do it.
Wouldn't it be like loud too? Like if it's right next to your ear?
Well, I mean, I thought about that. I put it like halfway volume, but yeah, it's pretty loud. But I needed it because like before my finals, like I had a final at 8 a.m. for my biology final, and I was like, how am I gonna wake up? Like how the hell? So I just put my headphones in and put an alarm for like 7 o'clock. And sure enough, I woke up tangled in those things, but I woke up at least. And so that's what I've been doing since my phone doesn't work. But maybe I should look for a phone instead.
Yeah, you're looking for wallets to put your money in, and then instead use the phone.
Yeah, I remember when I was younger, I'd be like, oh, I need a wallet, right? So I spent some money on a wallet, and I was like I need a wallet to put my money in. And then I end up buying the wallet, and now I have no money to put.
Yeah, but I mean, for a wallet is a product like that you should like keep for a while. You want a good quality wallet.
You don't want to buy one every like freaking 6 months or something.
Yeah,
unless you like collect wallets. I don't know. I've been looking at all these wallets. And I'm like, damn, I want that one, and then I want the other one, but
I know there's some good wallets out there.
Yeah, I just feel like starting a collection already, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're pretty. Some of them are really expensive. Like the ones I'm looking at right now, one of them is $65, and the other one is $94. And I was like, hell, I'm not going over 100. Like there's these kangaroo skin wallets where they use like the
kangaroo skin. What the hell?
they use the leather from a kangaroo, right? And that's supposedly like the toughest leather out there, right? I don't know how it compares to like alligator skin, but there's alligator skin wallets as well.
Yeah.
Right? And so
like Gucci and Louis Vuitton, they use that.
Those things are like $124. I've seen like some $200 ones. I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah, the Louis Vuitton wallets are $400. Like,
holy,
it's crazy. But that's it's probably they make that shit for like probably $50 or less, and then
less. They mass produce it as well, because a lot of the wallets that I'm looking at aren't even mass produced. Like they're handmade. Like you put the order in, and that's when they make it. Like they make it for your order, right? And like the one I'm looking at right now, the one I'm most interested in, has like this thing where you can like personalize it to add your name on it, right?
Damn.
So I was like, oh, I might as well add my name and then like my last initial.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a black wallet, but it looks nice. And I looked at the dimensions and it's the same size as this one, the one I already have. And this one fits in my front pocket. So I was like, might as well just get it, you know? And so like my search for wallets has finally been over.
Mm-hmm. You got that one now? Like,
no, I haven't gotten it yet.
Oh, you haven't gotten it?
Because it's called, I still have a little bit more research to do on some wallets.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm getting the one I want, right?
Now you could like start answering people's questions on Reddit. Like, this the type of wallet you should get. Like, everything.
For real, like someone asked a question on Reddit, and then like I'm reading all the other things, and then some people, instead of like giving suggestions, they're like, I read this Reddit, and now I know which wallet to pick and all that stuff. But right after I was like done researching wallets, I was like, for some reason, I was like, okay, what? I finished my first year, and I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, I had to start thinking like, what career am I going into and all that stuff. Like, for the longest time, I've always just said like, oh, doctor, you know, whatever it is, I'll be doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's what I'm doing. Like I'm doing
bio.
Like, yeah, I'm a biochem major, and so that's like a natural way to lead to, you know, like I can either go into research or just the medical, right?
Yeah.
And so then my emphasis is in medical, right? But then I was like, at the same time, like I don't want to work at a hospital, honestly. Like
now that this shit happened,
it's not even about this. It's always been like I want to be I feel like more of a private practice would suit me, because like I want to work 9 to 5 that way. Like I want to have a family, you know, and like I've been reading a lot, and like having a family and being a doctor is pretty hard when you're working in a hospital, because like the hours are just so like
they call you in whenever. Yeah,
that's what I heard, right? And so with a private practice, like you have a set, you know, schedule, and like if you decide to be your own employer, you know, like you can basically choose what to do. I don't know about that, but what I do know is like I want that family life, right? So I started looking into like that, and then like I started researching like houses as well. I don't know why.
Some people, like, I do that sometimes, but I research like houses that, like, I saw this TikTok where this person was like on Zillow, and she's like typing in like houses that are out of her budget, like $1 million houses and shit.
Oh, my brother does that right here.
Yeah. Like I'm researching houses in LA that are like 30 million. I was like, that looks good. That looks good.
$30 million.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna add that to my wish list.
One day. So then I started looking at like standard of living places, right? Like you go online and you can like look up like standard of living in different areas. And so like if you look up standard of living for California, let me look it up real quick. So the average is like 100 in the United States, right? And then for housing, California is 239.1. And so the lower you are from 100, the like cheaper you are. And so California is way over 100.
Yeah.
It's 139 over. And so, but when you look at something like Texas, Texas is 84.3. And so like housing there is really cheap. And I've been on TikTok sometimes, and like I look at these people buying a house in Texas for like $500,000.
They're like nice houses too.
It's a really nice house that over here in California would be like a $3 million home. Like honestly,
yeah,
it's kind of insane.
They just have space. Like we don't. Everything is crammed here. Like especially in Southern California.
Like, especially if you're near a city and all that. Like you ain't gonna get
Orange
that
County, LA County, like all this. There's just like everything, residential areas, business buildings. Like it's just too much. While in Texas, like it's all spaced out a little bit more. Like if you live in cities like Dallas and, you know, Houston, it's probably more expensive. Not as expensive as LA, but you know, it's if you live, you know, a little bit outside of Dallas in a residential neighborhood, it's It's cheaper, much cheaper.
Right? Yeah. I was also looking at that, and I was like, oh, Texas, maybe I should go move there. Then I started looking at like natural disasters, like tornadoes and hurricanes.
Hurricanes, Houston, they haven't recovered. Like that.
And I was like, yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
There's only like a couple areas that aren't really affected, right? But I was looking at a map like that shows like where those happen, like where it's most likely to happen, right? And a lot of it, tornadoes is in the panhandle area of it. And then like obviously towards the Gulf of it or the coast area, that's where the hurricanes obviously happen. And so like if you move more west, it's like less likely to happen, right?
Yeah. Because it's the warmer waters near the Gulf Coast.
Something like that. And so like that's what I've been looking at, like places to live. But that's like way ahead, you know?
Yeah.
I'm only done with my freshman year. So
but I like California the best though. Like it's, you know, I don't know whether it's like whether I grew up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, just even when I travel, like I've been to the East Coast like a lot of times, and it's just so different. Like there's way more trees. Everything's so spaced out. Like it's completely different.
I've never even like traveled that far. Like I think I've been to Mexico and I've been to Arizona and Nevada. That's like all I've been basically. Yeah. So I haven't really left anything of the West, right? But I mean, like I enjoy California so far. Like I mean, it's where I grew up. Like I'm used to the weather. I'm used to like the bipolar weather already. Like
yeah,
I'm not surprised.
And it's not even that bipolar, dude. Like if you go to Colorado, yeah, right. It's not even that bad though. If you go to Colorado, it's so like it's so bipolar. Like one day it could be snowing, and the next day it could be 70 degrees. That's it's so.
Yeah, we don't got snow here, so yeah. I mean, unless you go in the mountains. But I mean, remember a couple months ago, I think, or I don't know when it was, but it was like raining for like a whole week straight, and then it was like super sunny for another, and then it got really cold. Yeah. And like everybody was like saying like, oh, like the weather's all bad and screwed up, and like that was a big thing a couple months ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
It's always like that though, I think.
Now it's better though. The weather's fucking great over here.
But I know I would prefer the weather here than a tornado.
Yeah. The only thing we have are like earthquakes. That's the only shit we have.
Oh yeah, earthquakes. Supposedly
it's
like
not that bad. Like I heard like that there were a few earthquakes, but I didn't feel anything like recently.
Recently there's been earthquakes?
Yeah, like but it was in Fresno or like somewhere up in central California.
I haven't felt an earthquake recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's like the biggest natural disaster that we get is earthquakes.
No, there's nothing else over here.
Supposedly, there's like the like Yosemite area. I think has like this large underground volcano or something like that. I haven't checked if that's real or not, but actually, I have
underground volcano. Damn. So it's like it hasn't been active.
Oh, it is. Wait. Yellowstone National Park.
Yellowstone is in Wyoming.
Really?
That's not in Yosemite is in California and Yellowstone
is in... yeah. Bro, I'm tripping. Let's see. Yeah.
So they do have one that's underground?
I don't know. That's what I heard, but I haven't checked it out yet.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not saying like, oh yeah, it's gonna erupt in this. Like, I don't know.
You'll probably research that tonight. Like, find out everything to know about volcanoes. You know.
No, I'm tired of research, man. I've been online for way too long now. Yeah. I gotta start doing something else.
I took geology. Like, I took geology the first semester, like a 101, and geology lab the second, and like. I learned a lot of cool shit that
you told me about the labs.
Yeah. I didn't expect it to be like that interesting, but it was cool like learning about the formations, like stuff that like you don't really look at before, like enhances your perspective in a little bit. But
something nice. I was gonna take a anthropology class on like archaeology or something like that because like
anthropology, and so that's like study of humans, right?
Yeah, but for some reason it was also like in terms of like archaeology. But it's because when I was registering for classes, everything else was like full, right? Like there was no more English for me to take. Like I've already taken the first 2 English ones. I just needed my last English, and then like I'm done with the English requirement, right? But every senior like is reserved for, or basically like they give priority to seniors, right? And they all take the English class because they didn't take it for some reason when they were freshmen. Yeah. And so here I am, a freshman, trying to take the last class I need for English, and it's like, nope, it's already full because like all the other higher level classmen, like also need it to graduate. Right?
It's like a process. Like when they were freshmen, they didn't get to take it, and then when they're senior,
so now like I can't take it until I'm already be a sophomore and I still can't take it. Yeah. So I have to wait for a quarter where I can finally, just finally take the last English requirement. And so in the meantime, I'm doing a little bit of the breath courses that I had to do. Because for science so far, like I've been doing pretty well. And I just need the general breath requirements. And so one of those is anthropology. And so I was looking at that, and like I found this perfect class, right? That fits my schedule and everything. I click on it. It turns out it's, instead of 4 units, it's 5 units, right? And so it surpassed the 17 unit limit before, because the first pass you can only go up to 17, and then second pass you can pass that, right? And go up to like whatever you're thinking, like you can pass it. I don't know how much you can pass it by. So when I did it, it went all the way up to 18 when I added that class. And I was like, oh, you can't take this class. And I was like, oh my God, dude, so annoying. I had to look for a class that was exactly 4 units that would fit my schedule. And I had to like redo my schedule so many times just to get it in there.
Yeah, it's college classes. Like I have priority registration right now, so I get like first pick. So I haven't had that problem, but
I could have gotten that. I think what's it called? Like I got an email and a bunch of times people like, I think it was like the honors classes or something like that, like sign up for honors. But I ignored all those emails and I was too lazy. So I just ignored everything. That. Yeah, I was like, I'm just going to keep going to my normal classes, whatever it is. I'll just do the normal stuff. I need to join a club, I think. Because I went all through high school.
Yeah, in high school they want you to join a club, and then they're like,
join a club. That's the only way to get a college, right? And I never joined a club, man. I was like, just do well in school.
I know, you don't need it
unless you're going to like a really competitive school, and you need everything going for you, and then some. Like I read some like posts like of people like trying to apply for these really competitive schools, and they're like, oh, I'm like all like AP and all that stuff, and I'm in like 2 sports. Like these people look like their resumes all stacked up, like freaking. They might as well put I went to Afghanistan and all this. I don't know what else.
I'm a war vet,
and they still get rejected. I'm like, Jesus Christ, who's getting accepted into these schools?
I know, dude. It's so competitive.
Miniature Stephen Hawking's walking around getting into these schools.
Yeah, that's crazy. But did you hear about the UC system
getting rid of the SAT, right?
Yeah, getting rid of the SAT.
I was like, bro, you can do that a year earlier.
I know. They could have done that shit.
At the same time, though, like, what are they gonna require soon? Because I feel like the SAT was just like a little baseline, like if you couldn't get a good score on the SAT, then like I don't know, man.
You didn't learn anything. You didn't.
Because a lot of it too is just like put in some effort to like study it. They give you those packets. Like I can't be talking though because I never study those packets. But like if you study those like packets that they give you, or like take those Khan Academy. I remember I did the Khan Academy course the day before the SAT, and I only did like the math section a little bit, and then I was like, all right, I think I'm ready. And then I took the SAT. But like, I guess if you get like those people that get scared when they're taking tests or like they choke, I feel like for those people maybe. But like, did they put a reason for why they got rid of it?
I don't know. It's probably most likely due to like the coronavirus when they had the test planned out, right? Yeah. And you're doing it in a closed environment. There are other people around you, so they can't do that. And instead, they decided to just cancel all those tests. Like College Board canceled all those, and then the colleges now, or the UC, I don't know about other colleges, but the UC system were like, for the kids that didn't have the opportunity to take it, we're just gonna move past the SAT now.
I wonder what they're doing with AP tests. Because I also heard that a lot of those were like weird and online, and I don't know, like my brother took his AP Chem test on the computer. Mm-hmm. I feel like you can just open up another tab.
Yeah.
Look up some stuff.
So yeah, my brother, he took it. I think he took like 4 AP tests online, and he said it was like 45 minutes instead of like hours or 2 hours that they usually do it at.
How they proctor it is my question. Like
they don't like it's just online 45 minutes and
open note.
It's no it's no multiple choice. It's just short answer. So that's what they did to like try to get people not to cheat. Yeah. But people probably cheated. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's like
you could just get your phone out. Like if you're doing it on your computer, and then you could type on your phone and then research whatever. You have your books around you.
Get your phone, go on Discord. Be like, hey guys, what's up?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. There's
and the world's been chaotic, man. Everything going on. Mm-hmm. Just want to go back to normal.
Yeah.
We were gonna go watch The Tenant. Remember?
I know that shit got pushed back like another month.
Yeah, because I was reading an article that the director really wants it to come out or something like that, and then everybody else doesn't want it to come out.
Yeah,
and just open it up already.
I know the movie theaters are opening up. Like I think the one that we go to, Cinemark, they're gonna open up next month because they've been closed for a long time.
I wonder how much money they've lost and like how much money all the other businesses have lost, especially they've small businesses.
Yeah.
Like even small businesses have been affected a lot, I think.
Yeah. And even the movie theaters, AMC almost went bankrupt. Like they lost $2 billion because they couldn't do business as usual.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of businesses are struggling and a lot are succeeding. Like, we're doing Zoom right now. They're doing Zoom. So
Zoom got some bank.
Yeah.
And like hand sanitizer companies and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a bunch of memes where it was like scientists coming up with a cure and hand sanitizer companies coming up behind him and like killing him.
They're like, nah, bro, we're making bank here. We don't need no cure.
Right.
And they're like sold out, like Clorox, Lysol, like the wipes. Everybody's wanting wipes.
I started seeing that like for hand sanitizer. Like I think companies, other like manufacturing like lines started making hand sanitizer. And alcohol businesses too and all that.
Yeah, people were using alcohol to actually wash their hands. Like they thought that would kill the germs. It might, like, I don't know, but it would dry your hands out like a lot. Like since it's just alcohol.
Like you need like 60% ethanol or something like that. I don't know what you need.
Yeah, there's like they use a formula, like not just 99% alcohol on your hands.
Like they go to the fridge, get their Corona, and then
yeah, get like a Hennessy bottle and dump it on their hand. Yeah, people are crazy, dude. Yeah. How long have you been going on times?
What happened?
I was just saying, like, how long has it been? It's been hour 20 minutes.
It's been an hour and 20 minutes. How long was it supposed to be?
However long you want. Like we could just keep going if you want to. If you want to talk somewhere.
I know something we haven't touched about. I'm pretty sure you talked about this to other people. I mean, the protests, right? Mm-hmm. Like what is like all the protests / riots and all that stuff that's been going on? I don't know. Like for me, honestly, like I feel like the protests the reason for the protests against like police brutality would be a good thing. What I'm against though was the riots. Is what I was against because like, and also the people tearing down like a bunch of the monuments and all that stuff. Like, I saw this thing where like some. Okay, I saw this one video where these people took down a statue, and when they took it down, I laughed, but it's not really like sucks for that guy. But at the same time, like you shouldn't be doing that. Took down a statue, and the statue fell on top of it.
Really?
And everybody started cheering, right? And
he
then
was like pulling it from this side, right? And then it fell down right on him.
Yeah, like they're pushing it down, and they had like ropes. And he like pulls it down, and it falls on top of him. And like everybody starts cheering, and in like a couple seconds later, some people start noticing. They're like, "Oh shoot,
this guy is like struggling down there."
And then also like I heard that they tore down like or like defaced the 54th Massachusetts like regiment or something like that.
I don't know, but they defaced a lot of and also took down like statues of like Columbus and Robert E. Lee, like all the conservative people, like generals, all that shit they took down.
Supposedly, okay, so they defaced the 54th Massachusetts Regiment Memorial, but like I saw some videos on how the 54th Massachusetts Regiment was all black, like they were an infantry of all black soldiers. And so like they're arguing like Black Lives Matter and all this stuff, and then they're tearing down like these memorials.
They didn't do the research. Yeah,
like some of those statues, I guess, like I feel like
some of them are racist.
Like they see the Confederate statues and they're like, oh, the Confederates stood against the Union, right? And so then they go and try to take those statues down. And honestly, I feel like, okay, yeah, those statues were Confederates, but at the same time, the way I see it too is like that's part of their history. Damn, why is everybody walking around without the shirts? I feel like it's part of their history or like the history of happened. Like those were the bad guys, don't you want to see bad guys? I don't know. At the same time, yeah, they're taking them down. I don't know what they plan on replacing them with. But some of these memorials, like they're tearing down memorials of people that like they shouldn't be tearing down, like
they fought in wars and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like black people that fought in the war. Right. And like, I feel like they just got to accept that like, our history isn't the greatest, but they got to remember too that it was like that around the world. Like everybody's blaming white people for slavery, right? But nobody is taking accountability or looking at the fact that the people who sold them were their own people. Like, like they went to Africa.
Dave Chappelle, he has a good bit on this. He's like, back then though, like they didn't have phones or anything. So the people who are selling them, they're like, okay, we'll give you, we'll it's a good deal, I guess. You're giving us money. We'll give you this person. But the person that just got, sold, you can't go call back and say, yo, don't stop bringing us over here. It's bad over here. They can't say that. So the other guy doesn't know that they're being sold to do bad labor, like free labor and getting enslaved. So,
well, I mean,
that was a good bit that Dave had to.
Even then though, like at the same time you're selling someone, like
yeah.
So at the same time, like it's not like you don't know that what could happen, right? And I think in Africa, in certain parts of Africa, there's still slavery going on. And so my point isn't saying like, oh, whites are, like they didn't do anything. What I'm trying to say is like, we gotta like, okay, it happened, right? And
look at both sides.
Now it's illegal, right? So like, but why are you blaming people that had nothing to do with it? Like there's white people around today that had nothing to do with it. Like, they were born after slavery stopped, right? Some of these people, a lot of the people. And so like, the way I see it though is like, okay, racism is never going to stop, right? I don't think we can always try to minimize it.
It gets better by generation. Like in my opinion, it has gotten better like over time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't say it hasn't gotten better. Look at it, like back then, like there was the Jim Crow laws and all that stuff. Right now, we don't have that, so you can't like. I'm pretty sure right now nobody's saying, okay, you know what, might as well have the Jim Crow laws because it's still the same. Nobody's saying that, right? And so what I feel is like my perspective on this whole thing is like, okay, it happened. What happened was wrong. It's stopped now. there's still people that are racist, but I don't think like the whole country by itself is just racist country, you know? I mean, like,
yeah, no, definitely not. There are more
like,
good people, but negativity is louder, especially
and
on
not only
social
that though,
media.
like you got to look at policies. Like, are there policies that are enforcing the racist behavior? You know, and so
Hmm.
like, is there policy saying like Jim Crow laws? Those were policies, and those were racist policies. Like you can totally see that, you know,
Yeah,
that they were meant that way the black people couldn't vote. You know, and then they tried like doing these
and
sneaky
also like
things.
other like the Homestead Act. Like I was listening to Jon Stewart like yesterday, and he was saying the Homestead Act, the New Deal, that they all excluded black people. They were trying to
And
help the poor people in the U.S. and they excluded
I've
black
seen
people.
a lot of videos about what's it called, like what people think has led to it. A lot of people are like saying like, "Whoa, welfare! Like
Hmm.
you destroyed family morals with welfare. With welfare, now the father leaves and the mother just gets that paycheck, and like where the family values now, the kid's growing up without a father.
Yeah, that's also a big part too.
And so like what I'm saying is racism is obviously gonna exist, and anybody who says oh racism doesn't exist is like, well,
They
I
don't
mean
know what's going on. They got their ears
racism
plugged.
racism exists, but what I'm saying is you can't just blame all what's it called all injustices and all that stuff on racism. Like
Hmm.
you can't
Generalize it.
that won't hold up. Like you can't just say everything is because of racism. There's other factors that you have to take into account, that you have to look into and say, okay, is it just racism that's leading to this, or is there other things that could be causing this as well? You know,
Yeah, yeah,
that's my stance on it. You know,
hmm,
and that's not
yeah,
coming from saying like, oh, like I said before, I'm not saying that slavery is a good thing or anything like that.
yeah. Definitely not. But people are fighting for, you know, like Martin Luther King said, riots are like the effects of the unheard.
Or the
So these
voices will be
people,
unheard.
yeah, the voices of the unheard. So like these people have been unheard for so long. Like it continues to happen. Like George Floyd wasn't the first person. This like there are other people,
Yeah.
and it's
Like
you
I mean,
know
this year I think there's been 4 people
yeah,
that have been
and
shot unarmed. But I mean, like, I don't want to get into like the statistics and all that because that seems like it would be me defending what happened, right? I'm not defending what happened. I'm just saying there's been 4 people out of like a lot of people. You do it by like encounters. How many people have encountered?
yeah,
And so what I think is,
and like one of the officers in the George Floyd case, like I had a guest on last week, Lonnie, and he said that the one of the officers got out on bail, like $750,000 bail,
I think
and
I
he
don't know
got
which
out.
one it was, but I think one of the officers was like a new officer. And like, I mean, think about it. You're in a new job, and then you get in this stressful ass situation. And you tell your superior officer, like, "Hey, should you be doing this?" And he's like, "What's it called? Yeah, like,
Hmm.
shouldn't you get your knee off?" And he's like, "No. Like, what are you supposed to? Like, you're a new cop, and
Yeah,
like, you just got on the job, and then you're in this high intense situation where everybody's like saying like, "Oh, get the knee off," right? And then, but it's not you doing it; it's your superior officer, like
yeah.
obviously,
That guy was like a dumbass though. Like he had other complaints, like
well, yeah,
19 other
yeah, he
complaints
had
and
a lot of
shit.
complaints, and so did I think his Asian partner had like
Yeah,
9 complaints or 7 complaints. I don't know how many complaints.
after
And
like they should definitely add more laws to that. Like if you have complaints and shit, like get them out. Like they're not good people. You
yeah,
need
right,
a
or like send them back to like some type of school or
yeah. You just
like
need a better system to get
a,
good
a,
officers.
an
Like
evaluation check for like their mental, what's it called? I wouldn't say like mental capacity or something like that, but like
yeah.
get them like evaluated psychologically to see like if this is
Because
an
as a police
underlying
officer,
anger issue.
you should know how to deal with people better than most people. Like you should know how
Yeah,
to communicate well, no matter who the person is. Like if they're getting mad and they're escalating the situation, you should know how to deal with that situation and calm that person down or
yeah,
calm multiple people down
and
instead of using violence and force
yeah.
to do it. So you could just
There
talk.
was also the other case of that dude who fell asleep at a Wendy's. Remember?
Yeah.
At the Wendy's drive-thru, and everybody was getting mad at them. But that one right there, I looked at that and I was like, okay, this dude literally like fought against the two cops, brought him down, and I saw the whole video, the beginning where the cops were like doing the breathalyzer test, and then like they're like, well, we're gonna arrest you, right? They're saying like, oh, he was just asleep. Some people were saying like, oh, he was just asleep. Like, why would you stop him? That's racist, right? Except I don't think they knew that he was asleep in the drive-through, like in the actual
Really?
drive-through. Yeah, he was asleep in the drive-through, and so they came and got him. And then
so he was like drunk or something, and
he was drunk and fell asleep behind the wheel.
Mhm.
While I don't think he even had it on park. So I mean, can't you see how dangerous that is? And then so they came, they got him, and like everything was going smoothly. Like if you pull up the video, you can see how like it wasn't really that tense until they tried. They got his hand, put it behind his back, and they were about to arrest him. And when they're putting the handcuffs on, he starts like trying to run away, right? And so that's when it gets intense, and they're like trying to stop him, both officers. But that dude, like, he's taking on both officers. Like, he flips like both officers on the ground, and he's like getting up. He steals
with the handcuffs on.
No, he never got actually. He was never able to be handcuffed, right? And so then he flipped them around, and he starts taking one of the guy's tasers, right? He takes one taser and starts running away, right? And as he's running away, someone's following him with the taser out. And then you see in the video that the cop puts his taser away and pulls out his gun. And when he pulls out his gun, the dude turns around with the taser and points it at the cop with the taser. And the cop, I think I heard his story how he shot one time over the dude's head, just like as a warning shot, and the guy still pointed. And so then that's when he shot him twice. And so for that one, I feel like, okay, the dude, you literally pointed a taser at the guy. Mm-hmm. You resisted arrest, you started running away, and you pointed a taser at him. And under Georgia law, a taser is a lethal weapon. That's called a lethal weapon. A taser falls into that category. And so everything that the officer did was legal. Like, it wasn't illegal what he did. That was like him defending himself. I mean, you're pointing a taser at him, and people are saying, oh, well, a taser wouldn't kill him. But at the same time, he could tase him, and then what does he do? He can run up to him and get his gun, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you get tased, you're going to be on the floor. You won't be able to move. And so the way I see it is the cop had like a couple split seconds to think, like, and he probably felt threatened, like, this guy's going to kill me. He's pointing a taser at me. And decided to shoot first. And like, I mean, what he did was, I don't think was illegal. From what I know, I don't think it was illegal under Georgia law. And yet he got fired, right? And so now what I think that creates is like a lot of cops are going to be scared because they're like, well, even if we follow the law, we're still going to, like, if this, like, we follow the law and then people are going to like turn against us, right? Mm-hmm. And so like, I can see it from their point of view where like the cops might be like feeling that they're like, well, what do we do, right? And I'm not saying that for the Chauvin cop that put his knee, because putting knee on someone for that long, you weren't even threatened. Like, the dude was on the floor. What was he going to do?
He was handcuffed and everything.
Like, and not only that, they had already put him in the car. So why would you take him out of the car?
Yeah.
Like that I'm not arguing for that case. I'm arguing for the other case, just to make sure like people know that I'm not over here saying like, oh, it was justified what happened to George Floyd. Like, no.
Yeah, no way. But yeah, there's a huge mistrust between police and black people right now, especially, and that needs to, I have no solution for it. Like, this is a huge problem.
Yeah.
But like it's gonna take time. It's gonna take continuous like people going out and spreading their voice. Celebrities.
What do you think about
spreading their voice? Yeah.
What do you think about them trying to get rid of the police, like disbanding the police?
I don't think that's right. But I talked about in the with Sam, like we were talking about how they're saying defunding the police. I think that's.
Well, I think like people can't even come to a common consensus on what they want, right? Because some people are saying defunding the police, and like some people mean that as in like get rid of it completely. Other people mean it as like stop sending them all the money and the military equipment that they're getting and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's more reasonable because they they don't.
And then other people are completely saying like abolish the police, and some people are saying like no more police. And then you ask them, like I remember seeing a video where they asked them like, what would you replace it with? They're saying community enforcement, right? And like, what? Like, and then you go deeper into it, and it's like, yeah, people with guns that are always on call. And I was like, that kind of sounds like a police force. It's like, get rid of the police and replace them with a community defender, which is basically just the police. Yeah. Like, just because you change the name doesn't really change much. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of things are happening that are kind of like going against what they want, right?
Yeah.
It's like the chop zone or Chaz or whatever it was called. I don't know if that's been taken down yet or anything, but I saw a lot of videos of like inside, like what's happening and all that stuff in there. And I saw one video where, I saw one video where, you know how they have that huge border in the chop zone? So someone came out and was like, why do you have this border? And they were like, oh, it's to protect the people inside. Oh, so you think that this border protects the people inside, right? And it's good to have the border. And why do you have those armed people around? And they're like, oh, it's to protect the people from the people inside, right? And then they were saying, okay, but so then why are you guys against the border in the United States? And so the people are like stumped. They're like,
yeah.
I mean, I think it's just kind of funny, but at the same time, like obviously, like what's going on there, I think it's just a little like anarchy type thing. Mm. Like people say, oh, it's like a peaceful zone, but I've seen some videos and I don't know, that doesn't seem so peaceful.
Yeah.
They destroyed this black guy's 2 businesses of him, right? 2 of his businesses. And then he got mad. And so I saw this recently, went up and like he started grabbing like part of the border wall that they had there and like throwing it. And like he started like throwing all their supplies and all that stuff because he was angry. And I mean, like, why wouldn't you be angry? Like, imagine the people that were just caught in the middle of this. Like, it's not like they decided, like, oh, yeah, let's have this chop zone. Like, these people literally came and took over that 6-block zone. Like, imagine you're one of the people that live there and you're like, what is going on here? Like,
I know.
There's people that are walking around with guns. Like, where's the police? Police abandoned that area.
And they have, like, no plan, really. They just, like, they got that space and then
what?
Now what? Yeah. Like, nothing happened.
If anything, I feel like they should, because they have a lot of numbers, right? I feel like they should aim that to try to make reform if they actually want some sort of reform. Like, what are your policy ideas? Like instead of like, I feel like they're throwing a tantrum instead of doing that. Like, give us some policy ideas. Like what's your idea then on how to fix it? Mm-hmm. You know, and like, will this actually work or not? I feel like they should be trying to get lobbyists and all that stuff to lobby for them and all that. But I think they should be doing. Instead of like creating those chop zones and all that, and like,
yeah, people don't know what the fuck they're doing, dude. Like, it's just weird times, you know. But all right,
tough times.
Yeah, you want to wrap it up now? We're going on for hour 40 minutes.
We covered so many topics, I guess.
Yeah. All right.
From like PlayStation to wallets to this.
Yeah, it's been a lot, but I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Please like, subscribe, go follow Isaac on Instagram. Thank you guys for listening. Peace, and see you, Isaac.
See ya.